Hi, I'm Sue. I'm the CEO at Inspiro. Oh gosh, an overview of the last 12 months, hasn't it been challenging? Our staff have had to really buckle down and find a level of energy that hasn't been asked of them in the past, but they did an amazing job. The need to be mindful of the public health messages, that was a real challenge. I'm really proud of Inspiro's efforts in looking after our staff. You know, we've got workforce shortages across the health sector, and the way that we all came together to look after each other was amazing. And the board was incredibly supportive of making sure that our staff were looked after, because unless we look after our staff, we can't look after our clients and patients. The other thing I'm really proud of is how we operationalised the Lilydale Youth Hub. Under duress, I would have to say. Lockdown, not able to attract the numbers of people that we needed to deliver the service as planned, and also not being able to see our young people in person. And then when we finally opened up, it was just amazing. The vibrancy that part of the organisation is experiencing now is just fantastic. The energy is just amazing. Inspiro is incredibly proud of the efforts it makes with partners and stakeholders. The Art and Soul project, for example, is really links to the community and our relationship with the Yarra Ranges Council. The last 12 months have been challenging for everybody, I know that. But as a result, I am incredibly grateful to everybody that's rocked up, that's done their best, and they've committed to delivering the best services they can to the organisation, to the clients, to our community. I'd like to thank them from the bottom of my heart, because I know that without them we wouldn't be able to deliver what we're currently doing.
I'm Yashna, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm the Youth Engagement Officer at the Lilydale Youth Hub. So programs came about because young people needed a safe space to do activities they may not otherwise have access to. And the range of programs were depending on what people needed at the time. Our school holiday programs are catered to 12 to 25-year-olds living, working and studying in the Yarra Ranges. And they are all based around mental health and wellbeing of young people. I guess in the last 12 months, our program has grown massively. We had over 500 registrations for programs through word of mouth, through having really positive experiences. Young people roll in for programs, we book out really quickly, and we have a wait list, which is really exciting, but also young people come in and hang out after school, hang out after programs or before programs. It's a space where young people want to be, and they feel happy and content being themselves. It's really nice to see friendships that have been made. And so it's really a space where they can just be themselves, but it's also a really good space to keep an eye on young people to see how they're doing. And you can notice when someone's a bit more withdrawn into themselves. All of us are pretty onto that stuff, so we will go and check in to see how they're doing. If they're not doing okay, we kind of address it then and there if it's appropriate, and we link them in with services. Going forward, to continue growing, to continue having resources and funding to provide programs and a safe space for young people to engage with each other and services, and just to have that just accessible and there to go for when people need.
My name is Adina Lowe. I worked at Inspiro Dental for 9 months as a general dentist. There are more and more people that require to be seen by the dentist. During the lockdown, we could only see emergency cases. We'll come in and see these patients. It's quite different looking back. So recently, our team has been handing out more vouchers so that they can afford more dental services. I want the dental team to grow in the sense that we could see more and more patients, and we could bring the wait list down. At the same time, we also look after their oral health by sending them to see the oral health educator. She will go through some oral health instructions with the patient and in more detail, and that will just be more of an impact on the patient because they can look after their teeth better and maintain what they've got. If a patient has problems with their health and mentally as well, we can refer them to see a psychologist outside of the dental Inspiro team. I just feel so comfortable working at Inspiro, so I really enjoyed it.
My name's Megan McInerney and I'm a Health Promotion Officer working in the Health Promotion team. Our team is very small. We currently have 5 members of our team. 1 is away on maternity leave, so that leaves 4 of us. We deliver projects across a range of different settings, so that can be school, we go to gyms and other recreational facilities and out into the community groups as well. The Art and Soul project was funded through the Vic Health Art of Good Health funding. The project is primarily a walking trail project, but it's really underpinned by a cultural and historical narrative. So we have a Wurundjeri art piece going into Pointer Reserve. We have 7 wayfinding signs going through Lilydale West. So I think the challenges 12 months ago for our team were that we were working at home, so we couldn't engage in a lot of our projects within schools and community settings. That was a really big barrier for a lot of our projects, and some of them we still haven't been able to get back to running at full pace. We've had success over a number of our projects. Our projects can be designed by government and we implement those programs. We also internally design some of our projects. So our internally designed projects have been remarkably successful this last 12 months.
Hi, I'm Stephen Potter, Board Chair of Inspiro. For the last 12 months it has been a position of opportunity, a wake-up call in relation to where we sit with financial position. For the first time in 20 years, the financial results are not as pleasing as they have been in past years, but the pleasing aspect is that we've dedicated commitment to our workforce to make sure that our team members are maintained as we come out of the pandemic and can start to deliver services. The financial result for 2022 has not been to the level that we've achieved in prior years, but fortunately the organisation has a very strong level of reserves and we've been able to fund that loss. The development of our mental health space, both through the Lilydale Youth Hub and for the adult mental health factors that we need within the organisation has been the greatest success. Ironically, we're somewhat challenged around where our funding's sitting with that, despite the fact that we're being nominated for awards for the delivery of our services and the increased need within the community. Strategically, the board, the senior management team and the whole organisation are working through a number of challenging issues at the moment. The development of our strategic directions, our service plan and our service models has been a key element that we've spent considerable time through all the levels of our organisation. We're challenging ourselves from board through senior management team to the team leaders and their professionals to deliver the best result we can for the organisation.
I'm Kate Sargent, HR Manager at Inspiro, and I sit on the senior leadership team. We've actually kept up some of the hybrid model for a lot of teams because it actually works for people. So staff have got the opportunity to either work from home a couple of days and come into the office a couple of days, and Inspiro are embracing the fact that people can work in a hybrid model. The board were very keen to find out how staff were travelling during COVID. So we put out a bit of a wellbeing check, and that gave us a really good idea of the types of initiatives that we could put into place to better support staff. The other thing we have done is we received a wellbeing grant along with Health Ability and Access Health and Community, and we've been able to implement a number of programs to support staff. We also have had all of our leaders at Inspiro trained in mental health first aid. This was to be able to support the development of what we've called resilience plans. I have heard that from some managers that staff, when they've moved into a new role or they've transitioned into a different space, have actually implemented those to help the new manager understand the way they're working. The Wellbeing Grant initiatives included the personal resilience plans. It also included the Wellbeing Connectors. And also we've now introduced our Wellness Well, which is another initiative that came out of the Wellbeing Grant. So the Wellness Well is an opportunity for staff to submit an application for a wellness grant. And the Wellness Grant is a certain amount of money that we will allocate towards wellness activities either for their direct team or the organisation as a whole.
I'm Jasmine Wadia and I'm one of the physiotherapists at Inspiro Community Health. So the Women's Health Clinic is basically for any women who have pelvic floor dysfunction and walk into this service. They don't need a referral. They can self-refer themselves. They don't have to feel that there is a barrier to availing this service, because there is none. The initial referrals were generated by the physios who recognized the need for the client, and they referred on to now being referred to by GPs in the community. We are also looking at some partnership with Eastern Health to provide this service to a wider community in the Shire. So currently what we are offering is conservative management for urinary incontinence, pelvic floor organ prolapse, and also musculoskeletal conditions experienced by women during their pre-postnatal stages. We also offer antenatal exercise program and postnatal exercise program. I would like to see this clinic grow into a continence clinic rather than staying as a women's health clinic. I would like this service to be offered to men as well as women at the same time, because we know we've got the need for this service, not just for women but for men as well.
Hi, my name is Amy. I'm a physio student, and this year I am Inspiro's Tertiary Health Scholarship top recipient. Being able to receive this scholarship and be involved with Inspiro means everything to me. It is such a vote of confidence as I begin my career, and I feel so privileged to get to work with a health service that is deeply involved in the community that I've lived in pretty much my whole life. Inspiro's contribution to the local community is incredible. It's truly a local community health service that's committed to making health outcomes better for local people, as well as giving career and professional development opportunities for local people to work in their community. Something that really struck me at the scholarship award ceremony was when Hamish was talking about the inception of the idea for the scholarship, and it was actually first discussed in the year that I was born. So it's pretty incredible that Inspiro has been supporting healthcare students into careers in the local area pretty much my whole life. So the Inspiro Community Health Scholarship helps to support local health students in achieving their goals. I have been maintaining high distinction grade averages in my Doctor of Physiotherapy courses, as well as having a long history of involvement in community sport, in gymnastics and cheerleading in the area, and raising money for the Myeloma Australia Foundation in honour of my mum, who was diagnosed with multiple myeloma at the start of last year.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a storm recovery counsellor and a generalist counsellor at Inspiro. So when the June storms happened last year, the initial response was actually from community members. The community members came together and set up their own type of community hub, and then from there other organisations such as the Council and Bushfire Recovery supported that process, and then came in about a week or so later and providing that support, and then implemented more formalised recovery hubs for those that were impacted by the June 21 storms. At these hubs, Inspiro played a role as well, where we had little QR codes that people could scan in to be able to link in with counselling, which was great. And they were able to recognise there wasn't any specific storm recovery counselling. So some of the challenges since I've come on board have been being able to get that buy-in from community members. Whilst Inspiro is very much a part of the community service, out in Belgrave it was around refreshing and reminding and being able to link in with those community members that we actually were providing storm recovery support, and that it was there and available if people needed. I would love to see the funding being extended. At the moment, we've only got funding until the end of January, which is really quite a short period of time for people that have been through a natural disaster. I would really like to acknowledge all of the people within the Hills region that were impacted by the storms, and the way that they came together through that impact and supporting one another through that difficult time, and then also in the aftermath of being able to see them still forming these different groups and these connections and meeting up, to see that support is really wonderful.
If I had to eat a crayon, I would eat a green crayon. It's my favourite colour.
The first colour that just came to my head was purple, and I have no idea why.
Ooh, purple was the immediate thing that came to mind, and I feel like it's because grape-coloured lollies are the nicest, but I don't know that translates to crayons.
I would probably go with green because it's the closest to a food colour.
Yellow, because citrus, I like lemons.
My favourite subject in high school, I really loved biology.
My favourite subject was actually theatre studies and drama, so there we go.
But I also really liked French.
Probably maths.
And English.
English. I'm good at making up a story.
And PE, probably biology.
My last holiday was a really, really long weekend of 3 days to Adelaide.
Port Lincoln. Yeah, some amazing oysters and Coffin Bay.
I haven't met anyone famous. You'll have to ask me a new one.
I attended the Dalai Lama when he came, but I didn't meet him in person per se.